Hello and welcome, viewers. Kibrom, Girme, Ruby, Birhane, Misgabe, Emin, Emmanuel, Takriot. Thank you for joining, all of you. Nathaniel, Gibre, Samuel, Falake, Goal, Tigray, Ashinafi, Abraham, Cassate, Solomon. I am starting to remember all of you now. I think just one or two names are new. Samuel Abbey, Green Life. Green Life is asking, how is everything, mister? Everything is all right, but we have several developments. We'll talk about that. Free Tigray, Big T Tube. Someone is asking, why is the Ethiopian conflict such interest to you? Every conflict is of interest for me. Nitin Varia, please give some light on Article 39 of Constitution. Amira Saleh, hi Amira. Christian Nintendo Pro X, hi brother, hi Christian. Loud Noise is saying TDF is very strong. We'll talk about that. Daniel Nigato, how much TPLF pay you, liar? He's saying, how much TPLF pays me? The things that you are paying me, they're being paid by others, some of others as well. I am under fire from both sides. I face criticism from TPLF, from ENDF. So that happens with me. That is what I receive. But there are some of you who wait for my videos and who make me go on. The way they encourage me, the way they appreciate me, the way they uh, discuss my videos in an unbiased manner. Those viewers keep me going. Ruby saying, don't worry about them. Thank you, Ruby. Mercy Yusuf, good job, brother. Viewers, let me tell you one thing. I know several viewers who are running channels, YouTube channels. They also visit my channel. Some of them do comment to undermine this channel. I know them honestly, but I will never name them. I know their names, their IDs, but I won't name them. I don't block anyone. I let everyone speak, and I speak as I like as well. So just listen to me and speak the way you want to speak, whatever you want to say. Elo Milo City, TDF is like a dust. Hedy Hobbs, Ammon Emmanuel, Fire Entertainment. Could you please tell us where you got your information from? Master Pokemon Abraham, Yasin Usman, Ashinafi Ibrahim. Someone is asking about the source of my information. No one is going to tell you about their sources. That's always a secret. But you saw in this war that Ethiopian government tried its best to cover up things. Internet cut off, power outage as well, total blockade. Despite all these measures, you saw that truth came out. Not through journalists who went on ground. Truth came out through satellite images, through verbal testimonies of refugees who crossed into Sudan, through the sources as well. So you don't need to be, you don't always need to be on ground to report on a conflict. You must have some sources, ground sources, human sources, then technology plays a key role, viewers. You cannot put a blockade on information in any part of the world. Beatles is back. He's saying, I'm back for the stream today. Yes, Beatles, you were late in a previous session. Mike, why will the TPLF not surrender if humanitarian issues are most important? Mike is asking a very naive question, saying, why is that TPLF not surrendering when there is a humanitarian crisis? Well, TPLF are of the view that this humanitarian disaster is a deliberate attempt by Eritrean forces and ENDF to commit genocide of Tigrayans. So they are saying that by fighting, they are trying to defend against this genocide of Tigrayans. That's their point of view. As regards surrendering, TDF will never surrender. No matter how much losses they suffer, they will never surrender. It's a war which they are fighting based on a conviction that they are trying to defend their homeland. So you won't see them surrendering. No question of surrender on their part. Someone is asking about my credentials. I am in front of you, facing you. I am available to you. I respond to your comments. Tell me one thing. How many journalists are covering this war, especially battlefield developments, and they talk to you as well. They take your questions. They are involved in debates with you. I am the only one, I think, that I am covering this war. Then I stay in touch with you as well. I try to defend my point of view as well. I might be wrong, but I try to defend what I am saying. Someone is saying, could we get started? Ignore the arrogant and arrogant. Let's get started. Let's get started. TDF's change in strategy. I think there is a change. We saw TDF going into defensive mode after two offensives from Eritrean forces and from ENDF, especially after the second offensive, which was led by Eritrean forces into central Tigray. We saw a lull in fighting. TDF went into defensive mode, and they resorted to guerrilla warfare. But they realized gradually that if they stop their large-scale operations, they would be cornered in central Tigray. And that was happening. Eritreans were moving from B30 highway towards central Tigray. ENDF had started moving from eastern Tigray, from Mekelle side towards central Tigray. Colonel Gabre admitted yesterday that there was fighting in Maneve, which is in central Tigray, for 5 days. It means there was heavy presence of Ethiopian National Defense Forces in Maneve in surrounding areas. So ENDF succeeded in reaching Maneve, Agbe, close to Abe Edi as well. That is why I personally think that TDF decided to change gears. They know that only guerrilla warfare cannot work. TDF must continue their large-scale attacks as well. And that is what I think Debrecen meant when he was saying a few days ago that a new phase of this war was going to start. People were saying that he meant that there would be attacks in Eritrea. But I think that what de Brassian meant by saying that there would be a new phase of this war, he was saying that TDF, would start large-scale attacks, and these large-scale attacks are necessary if TDF want to survive. Otherwise, ENDF, Eritreans, they'll keep on advancing and TDF will be cornered. TDF have been under pressure, views. Believe me, they have been under pressure. And now they are changing their strategy. They believe that not only is guerrilla warfare important, but large-scale military operations are also important. So in coming days, we could see more of such fighting as we saw yesterday and day before yesterday in areas mentioned by Colonel Gabre and Getachew. Beetle is asking, did you see African Union saying Ethiopia attacked first? Yes, I saw that statement, but honestly, I don't take African Union statements very seriously. African Union is a toothless body. African Union has been on board with Ethiopian government from day one. You remember a meeting of African Union in which Abiy Ahmed spoke and AU's head also spoke. In that meeting, I think it happened in November. In that meeting, African Union endorsed Abiy Ahmed's point of view that it was a military operation, a law enforcement operation in Tigray. Since day one, African Union has been on board with Ethiopian government. It made just one effort when it announced 3 envoys to mediate. After that, Ethiopia rejected that move, the government, and AU became silent. Since then, AU has been on the side of Ethiopian government. Their statements should not be taken seriously. Have you seen TDF channels? Uzil is asking, yes, I have seen their interviews. Why are they now appearing for interviews? That's the important question. Are they appearing to boost morale of their power base because they are under pressure, or they are appearing because they have now started a new offensive and they know they are in a better position? That's debatable. Robert Gabre says, hello, glad I made it. Thank you for joining, Robert Gabre. Someone is asking, do you see the only acceptable solution is that Ethiopian government loses this conflict? Ethiopian government will not lose this conflict anytime soon. Government has backing of regional forces. It has backing of Eritrean forces. Sub-Sahara Post is saying good points, but TDF until recently allowed the troops to enter areas they want to ambush them. It's been their strategy as they did not have enough troops to challenge them head on. Well, they do have enough troops. So TDF have no shortage of manpower. Their main problem is supplies, weapons, food. Manpower is not a problem for them. Mike is asking, what would peaceful outcome look like to you? Well, we'll see talks at some point. After elections, there'll be talks. No talks before elections, but after elections, atmosphere will change. Abiy Ahmed will start talks, I think, and we might see some sort of resolution to this conflict. But viewers, the main objective of Eritrean forces in this war is not to occupy Tigray. They want to weaken TDF. They want to ensure that TDF are no more a threat to them. So they are trying to weaken TDF. That is what they are doing, and so far they have done it successfully. So even if TDF come out of this war as the winner, no doubt their operational capabilities, they will have taken a serious hit. Any news on OLA, the Khato Elimo said, just an hour ago I did a video on OLA statement about election day. So far we haven't seen large scale OLA's activities targeting election process in Ethiopia. But OLA is now saying that people must stay home on Monday. No one should come out on Monday. So something big could happen on Monday, election day. It's a test of significance in Oromia. Can OLA disrupt this process in Oromia or not? If OLA cannot disrupt this process, it means they are restricted to some areas in Oromia, and Ethiopian government is in control of Oromia. So Monday is very crucial for OLA, I think. Someone is asking about, will riots occur on election day? Let's see what happens, Menghan. But OLA has given warnings. OLA is saying no transport on Monday, no people on streets on Monday. OLA might be planning something for Monday. Ashanaf is asking about UN NATO intervention. We have discussed this question several times. So far, no signs of any intervention from any side, military intervention. Someone is saying Yasin Usman fake election. Winter Cross, is it safe for Abiy to go out on Monday? Well, Abiy has been in Jimma just 3 days ago. I did a video on that. There was a huge crowd there. So we cannot just rule out Abiy that he is hated by all Ethiopians. No. Differences are so deep in Ethiopia that if someone is against Abiy, some others would definitely be in his support. Faya is asking, how do you think TDF has lasted so long in this war, being surrounded and cut off from the world with no food supplies and water? Please answer this. Yes, a very important question. How has TDF managed to survive so far? TDF have two biggest advantages. Firstly, they have the backing of locals. Secondly, they know the terrain very well. And these two are very important advantages of yours. That is how they're surviving, that they have mixed with locals. And locals are joining them. They don't have any shortage of manpower. Now it's difficult to hit them because they are in mountainous areas. You cannot differentiate between fighters and civilians. So it's a difficult phase of this war. That is how they'll survive. And they'll carry out large attacks as well, but not a lot. They'll keep on focusing on guerrilla warfare. At the same time, they will retain their ability to carry out large-scale attacks, like we saw yesterday. But we'll have to give credit to TDF because we'll have to give credit to TDF. They have managed to survive. I mean, Amhara forces, Afar forces, Eritrean, ENDF, UA's drones, Despite all these rivals, they have managed to survive. It's not an easy war for them when you are faced with so many rivals. So we'll have to appreciate them that in terms of fighting, they are managing to survive. It's not easy, viewers. What do you expect inside Tigray war in coming days? It's very difficult to answer what will happen in coming days. But I think after elections, we could see a change in Tigray war. We could see some sort of development towards talks. Now, Abiy cannot afford to start talks because his uh, election campaign will be affected. He wants votes. He wants ballots. So after elections, he'll be in a position to hold talks, and we might see resumption of talks through some intermediaries after elections. I don't see TDF or ENDF coming out of this war as winners in coming days or coming weeks. Beetle is asking, is Abiy a puppet of Isaias? Abiy and Isaias have really close relationship, and they are on the same page about several issues in this region. We have seen that. Important question. Mike is asking, why can't TPLF find any ally in this region? Yes, important question. TPLF must review its way of governing Ethiopia. Why is TPLF alone? Why is no one raising voice in Africa for TDF or TPLF? We heard just one statement from Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda. Otherwise, no statements from Ethiopian neighbors, from any states. So TPLF must revisit their way of governing Ethiopia, their way of governing Tigray as well. Very valid question. Do you believe Eritrean troops are in Oromia? Important question. I haven't heard so far any statement from Eritrea denying these claims that there are no troops in Oromia. But we have heard several statements from OLA, from OLF, from locals as well that Eritrean troops are in Oromia. OLA is issuing statements on daily basis that in BG, in Guji, Burana, Kalam Velega, West Velega, Horo Godoro, there is presence of Eritrean forces. And the main purpose of this presence, I think, was to conduct elections peacefully in Oromia. Almost a month ago, Ethiopian government sent Eritrean forces to Oromia. And the main purpose of this deployment was to restrict OLA so that elections can be held in Oromia. OLA has been restricted. We did not see any considerable advance from OLA in the last 1 month. So Eritrean forces might leave Oromia after elections. Someone is asking about General Abraha, Eritrean general killed in Oromia. I could not confirm this news. Oda Turby, who is the spokesperson of OLA, he contacted me and he said you can ask questions, you can have information from me. I am the spokesperson of OLA. I asked him about this Eritrean general. So far, Oda Turby has not replied. So this news is unconfirmed about the death of Eritrean general killed in Oromia. Someone is asking about independence of Tigray. We have discussed this topic several times in the past. But so far, officially, no statement from any TPLF leader, official announcement that TDF and TPLF want independence. Someone is asking about, do you think famine is man-made? International community and Ethiopian government, they are at loggerheads about this famine. They are saying, international community is saying famine is man-made. Ethiopia rejects this statement. But we know that people could not cultivate crops in Tigray. They could not harvest as well. There is definitely shortage of food. There is definitely shortage of water, shortage of supplies. People are suffering, whether there is famine, it has started or not. But everyone can say for sure that people in Tigray are in dire need of humanitarian assistance. Someone is asking about, are there any TDF generals killed? Since yesterday, we have been hearing that some high-ranking officers of TDF have been killed, but again, unconfirmed news. I could not confirm these claims that any high-ranking TDF general has been killed. It's an unconfirmed news. Maybe in the coming hours, we'll be able to confirm it. Michael Ash, do you think after the defeat of TDF, Ethiopia will be a better place? Well, I am saying that TDF will not be defeated. This war will go on. No one will be defeated, neither TDF nor ENDF. In one form or the other, this war will go on until there are talks. Ming Han, you asked several questions. Can the OLA or TDF, he's asking about some, leave this question, let me leave this question. Sub-Sahara Post, someone is appreciating his channel. Yes, he works on his videos, Sub-Sahara Post channel. I have watched his videos, several of his videos. Jabir is saying, see you in 1 month, Tigray will prevail. Tigray will be free, he's saying. Manalek is saying, does reporting on this conflict ever affect you? What do you mean by affect me? Samuel is saying, national dialogue is the only solution to peace. Yes, you're right, Samuel. But after winning elections, will Abiy go for any national dialogue? Now is the time for talks. After Abiy is in power for another term, we might not see national dialogue. Someone is asking about TDF being in control of large cities. No, they're not in control of any large city. Yes, they do have control of some towns in central Tigray. But cities like Mekelle, Axom, Shire, Adegrat, then Humera, then Elamata, they've been taken by Ethiopian National Defense Forces, Eritrean forces. Sahil is asking, do you think NATO will involve? I did a video on that. You can watch that video. Could TDF regain control if Eritrea leaves? If Eritrea leaves, yes, TDF would be in a stronger position and they would definitely be in a position to push ENDF out of Tigray. Daner is saying TDF is going to take Kashmir. TDF is going to take Kashmir. Loud noise. Will Eritrea and Ethiopia stay allies? As long as Abiy and Isaias are in power, they'll stay allies. What could make Eritrea leave Tigray? Yes, that's the important question. What could make Eritrea leave Tigray? Well, pressure on Eritrea won't work. They're under sanctions, cut off from international community, so putting pressure upon them won't work. But pressure upon Ethiopia can work. EU, US, they can put pressure upon Ethiopia through sanctions, through restrictive measures, through involving Ethiopian allies, through threatening, warning, whatever mode they adopt. They can put pressure upon Ethiopia to make Eritrea withdraw. Pressure upon Eritrea might not work in my view. Samuel, dear sir, keep us updated and stay neutral and unbiased. Thank you, Samuel. Viewers, 32 minutes are past. Let me just now end this live chat session. Let me sum up this week. TDF have adopted large-scale operation strategy. From guerrilla warfare, they are now moving towards large-scale attacks. That was what Debrecen had said a few days ago. I think now we'll see a combination of guerrilla attacks and large-scale attacks by TDF against Eritreans, against Ethiopian National Defense Forces. At the same time, ENDF and Eritrean forces, they have managed to keep pressure upon TDF. These are very defining moments for TDF viewers. If TDF managed to push ENDF out of Hagre Salam, out of Yichile, and they move towards A2 highway, it could be devastating for ENDF. But they'll have to watch their back as well from B30 highway, from Shere, Aksom, Adwa side. There is heavy presence of Eritreans there. So coming days, very crucial for TDF. If TDF managed to push ENDF out of Central Tigray and they start their advance towards Mekelle, we could see TDF rebounding. And if Eritreans succeed in advancing deeper into Central Tigray and ENDF keep on holding their positions, we could see more pressure upon TDF. Let's see what happens. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, all of you. It was a wonderful live chat session. Monday is very crucial, viewers. Elections in Ethiopia on Monday. OLA is warning that Ethiopians must stay indoors. Let's see what happens on Monday. Thank you for joining. Thank you, all of you. See you in the next live chat session. Thank you.